Good evening and welcome to the first edition of the program The Desk in 2025. That's a very prosperous and beautiful year 2025. My name is Anthony Momodi. Welcome to the most compelling talk show on TV, The Desk on Global Television. And today promises to be no different as we look at issues making the rounds across the globe and also right here in Nigeria. And on today's edition, I've got one of the finest minds in the African continent, who is the chairman of the National Policy Dialogue, and he is also the founder of the Initiative for Discovery of Nigeria Heritage and Endowment. He's no other person but Musa Ododo Abdurrahman is in the live studios, always in white. It gives you a feeling of purity close by. Good evening and thank you for joining me on the desk.
Thank you so much, Nestan, for having me.
And a happy new year.
Thank you. Glorious new year to everyone all over the globe, Nigerians. Thank you.
All right, we'll be looking at a very interesting talking point across the globe. One of the big talking points on the desk this evening is the fact that the United Nations Secretary General, in the person of Antonio Guterres, has urged nations to confront the pressing challenges of conflict, inequality, and of course climate change with urgency and unity. The message was issued on Tuesday. Guterres reflected on the difficulties of the past year while calling for decisive action in 2025. Guterres warned of a world in crisis marked by wars, causing immense suffering and displacement, and also deepening inequalities and growing mistrust. He described the ongoing climate crisis as an alarming reality, noting that 2024 was one of the hottest years in a decade of record-breaking heat. Despite the challenges, Guterres pointed out to signs of hope and progress, highlighting the effort of activists advocating for change, humanitarian workers supporting vulnerable populations, and also scientists and innovators advancing solutions for humanity. That's a very key conversation and key statement by Antonio Guterres. But can we hold him to his words? Because last year in 2024, Israel did accuse him of being biased, taking sides, not calling a spade when we've got the Palestinians, the Hamas group, Israel, without making strong statement condemning it, but only Israel did attack Hamas and they're crying. It seems just like he's already taking sides. Do you think with the bad reputation he had, because Israel did ban him, saying he was a person non grata to the land of Israel, has he lost his reputation and his importance as one of the world leaders?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Why do I say that? Rather, we should look at it holistically, that what is wrong with humanity as a whole. What do you expect of him? He's a spokesperson, quote, as if he's a spoke for all the conglomerate of nations. And there are myriads of challenges, wars going. So, I mean, you couldn't expect anything short that. I'm trying to say that he could be, that leadership position is very, very crucial. It's very, very telling when you are faced with this kind of wars pervading humanity. So rather, we should ask ourselves, look to ourselves as human beings, as a Homo sapiens. So what is wrong with us as a people? I wrote a piece in my column when he was urging that they should be slow in war too. In my column, Daily Independent,
Okay.
they juxtapose it.
Okay.
They juxtapose what he was saying and with my recommendation.
Conditions,
Of course, and I knew that the editor knew what he was doing.
Right.
What was I recommending? I said there must be a new civilization. Human being, this civilization is dead. You can see. Can you imagine? We are shouting that there must be peace, and human beings are conceiving. Not only conceiving, they are making the most weapons. And what kind of society are we looking at? So you can see that this civilization is dead. Absolutely, we must all return to who we truly are as a people. We should ask ourselves question as a species. What really do our species is faced with?
Why do you think there's that death? Why do you think there's that absence of humanity, that consciousness, that compassion?
Yeah, because that is what I said. That's what I said. It's not new, but it has reached another level. You can see even with our so-called technology, we are so apart. We're so apart because of that this nature abhor the greatest thing. Nature abhor. Nature detested competition. Yeah, nature as why you can see we are depleting nature, we are depleting ourselves because of competition, and we cannot thrive in this universe, on this earth with competition. I'm telling you, it is because of that competition we want to control. This is the most contested realm. This realm that you have, that you call Earth, is the most contested realm. Societies are for attraction and domination. And it's not supposed to be like that. People want to dominate each other because of control, and that is why we can't. The nature cannot take it. There must be a new earth. Some seers, some great seers, from the spiritual angle, they are saying that the human being has never been so deteriorated this way. I'm telling you on this way. Since the history, of course, we know that there are strifes since civilization, but human being has never been so disseminated this way. We're so against each other, seemingly that we are working together. No, we are so apart. Everybody wants to take on the other society.
Is it more of ego or what?
Of course, it is ego driven. That is what is driving it. It's ego that drives that competition. Rather than coming together to cooperate, we are competing. Not only competing, we want to subdue each other. We want to kill each other. You can imagine it's never happened before, except this last century, that is a nation, Russia, is taking on land. It's happened long time ago. Taking on not only killing, not only, of course, I don't want to say one is killing each other. They are killing each other. Of course, Russia is taking their land. It's never happened except this last and this is a very, very pathetic for humanity. I'm telling you, this is the most pathetic time.
All right, he mentioned also the issue of climate change and how important it is. Last year was one of the hottest years in mankind.
Yes.
What does that tell us? And do you think we have a way out? Even though, yes, there was COP28, COP29, all the climate change conferences, even the Path to Future, which was signed last year.
Except we think, except just that that's the hypocrisy of the global. Do I say global
politics
north,
now? Yeah.
Global north. That's global south. That is the policy, the hypocrisy of the global. They are the one that is depleting all the so-called. Don't let me say global north per se, because not only all the global north. Look at the Chinese. Look at the other one. The so-called developed
nations, the G7.
They are the one.
The F.
With the F, and yet when they call for that, they are not ready to do that. They are not ready to change. So it is that we must confront each other that way. And the motherhead is so, nature never violates our own principle, and she never forgives. I'm telling you, we are in for it. Except we change our ways and be sincere to each other. If we lose our motherland,
So, is Antonio Guterres' prediction likely to come through when he said, if not, we're going to have a war, a world where there's going to be a lot of crisis, technically, short of saying Third World War?
Yes. Look at it. It's coming. Look. Do you know the latest what they said? Russia.
Ukraine said they're going to do whatever they can in 2025 to end Russia's.
Look at. So meaning that the war is not. Look at what is happening with Israel. So if the whole so-called world power, if they do not consciously see how to put an end to this is looming. Third World War is looming. But I know that there's something that's going to happen. There's not going to be third war. I'm talking from my own personal perspective, from my own personal dimension. Look at there's not going to be third war. Something is going to happen because nature will take over what the people that are causing this, they will go for it, and all of us that are calling for a new consciousness, a new universal consciousness, global consciousness, a new world, we're going to have our place.
All right.
Nature is going to take them away. Any other person that goes against nature is going to take them away.
Speaking about nature taking leaders away, we know that some leaders are also coming in again, like Donald Trump, who was 45th president, now 47th, now coming in again. Do you think there's a strategic role coming from the hindsight and the spirituality angle you're coming from? Do you think there's a role he's meant to play? Because he's deeply against lesbianism and those other issues that have been pushed forward by some superpowers.
Yes, the personality of I don't like to discuss people. I love to discuss ideas, lofty ideas as such. But
he's likely to drive that idea.
The president now, so we're not discussing Trump, as we're discussing the presidency of Trump.
What he's going to bring.
What he's going to bring. I personally, when what leader does when they come to this is the time that determine it. But I don't see Trump understanding the knowledge of the time that we are now. So I don't see him coming up with anything positive. That is my own dimension. That's my own perspective that I can mention. I cannot see him because he doesn't really understand. Forget about his going on. Do you know that one of his nominee is a gay? I can't put a name. I can't put a hold to his name. But I saw in the news people are saying what of all that immorality that he is perpetrating as a person. So you understand. So it's what for Trump. So-called democracy is gone.
Despite all
what he did. Now he has been convicted yesterday. If you watch CNN 3 days ago, he's been convicted of 2 offenses, and this impressive that never happened again. It has never happened before in the history of America. That's to tell you that the so-called democracy that we are, especially we are now emulating. We must understand that this we cannot build our future on the ruin of a collapsed society. It's a collapsed civilization. When I say civilization is headed, they are the head of that collapse. They are the head of that. I don't want to go into the deeper that what America represents.
All right, a very sad commentary there. Let's move on to the next talking point on our desk. We've got a U.S. court order. Is where we're heading. Nigeria, that's talking about the U.S. court order releasing of a seized $6 million Nigerian arms funds. Yeah, Nigeria has won a prolonged legal battle to recover over $6 million in arms funds that had been seized by the United States government since 2014. The funds were seized about a decade ago from arms broker who was trying to supply military equipment from the U.S. to Nigeria without having the necessary license. Doesn't this also put Nigeria in bad light? Why would a nation as big as Nigeria do a deal with an individual who is not licensed? Shouldn't the Nigerian government, don't they have the what it takes to deal directly with the government of the U.S. rather than go with an individual that is not even licensed, which led to Nigeria's funds being seized and even the weapons not being until this very change of the court rulings?
Yeah, you can see that is part of the decadence of our society. There is no order. We are not society that obey that obey principles, order. We just do anything anyhow. That is why we are like this. We are what I call IP. the IDP doesn't mean
Internally displaced persons,
What
yeah.
I mean by IDP in my own, I say is internally displaced principles. Little wonder you have the internally displaced persons.
Yeah.
When a human being in society, the people governing them, especially
If they misplace their
principles,
so that it affects.
it affects everything else. And if not, well, there's another. Even if I knew there was a time that US did not want to sell to us,
Yes.
but you have to still follow what is the right channel to do this. If not, I mean, we cannot be faced. This is total it is shame. It is shame. I'm tired of analyzing.
Should we expect also probably face the wrath? It's now that it's been exposed that someone did shady dealings with someone who is not licensed.
We are supposed to have that, but how many have we gotten that way? When you have this kind of a thing, before you need it, you put it under the carpet. Because it is not you and I that can do that kind of a thing. It's a hard deal. People that are involved, if you know the people that are involved, they will not want to be exposed. They will just cover it. That is what we've been facing in our society. But time, everybody perpetrating this kind of evil in our society, that time has come now, because naturally, nature does not take. You cannot keep cheating nature. It's going to take its course.
All right, let's see. I think we must give kudos to the justice system in America, because if the justice system was as bad as Nigeria,
we will not get today, of course.
All right, let's move on to other talking points on the desk this evening, as we're still looking at issues on the global perspective. Good news, Nigeria, $6 million is no small feat. But the big question is, who will be receiving these monies and what will they be used for? Because the Nigerian government has not even owned to the fact that such monies was returned, and what happens next?
Yes, I pray and hope that this time there will be. I mean, the results will be different, because what we had before, that we had issues. Look, we should give it to them too. There are some that looted funds that we see that they will report, but we've had issues in the past that the issue of they will say they return a looted fund, then they will use relooted.
But they never tell us who relooted.
You can see that this one the same way.
Right, let's take one more talking point. We've got two on still on the foreign scene, where the United States has sanctioned entities in Iran and Russia over alleged attempts to interfere in the 2024 U.S. election. A statement by the U.S. Treasury Department on Tuesday said the entities, including a subsidiary of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and an organization affiliated with Russia's military intelligence agency, were aimed at stoking social political tensions and influencing the U.S. electorate during the 2024 U.S. election, according to the statement. This shows how far some countries can go to destabilize but are you impressed with the fact that the U.S. could actually single out these entities being responsible for wanting to cause such disaffection amongst Americans?
Yes, of course, that is international policy. They know what they are doing. Even the U.S. has it not been destabilizing nations? The U.S. have been forefront of destabilizing nations through their all the various kind of secret agency and what have you, especially we in Africa. And I'm not saying that I'm not using that as justification for other person to do that. I'm just saying that he who comes to equity, he who comes to justice must come with clearance. So they have their way to settle.
All right, we talked about Ukraine. That's the next talking point. When Ukraine presents, don't you think Ukraine is biting more than it can chew, especially with the fact that incoming U.S. President Donald Trump, there's no guarantee he's going to back them? Do you think this was a suicidal statement by Vladimir Zelensky, or you think he was just trying to reassure his people to the detriment of angering the Russians who might want to hit him harder?
Excuse me, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but that is the situation he finds himself. He must. They say a leader is a dealer in hope.
A dealer in hope.
A leader is a dealer in hope. Probably he's trying to sell to them that he can still confront what he's doing. But really, you can see that Trump said he's going to end the war in 48 hours, meaning that they are afraid that he is afraid that so that in conceding not to concede some of the lands that Russia in trying to
because we were told they've lost 7 times.
Yes, yes. So so I don't think he's I don't think he's looking that he could prosecute the war, but I don't know how far they could go, because he doesn't want Ukraine to he doesn't want Russia to, he doesn't want their land to be Russia to take their land that they already seized. But I just pray and hope that intervention will come, and we must, because at the end of all war there must be a dialogue. There must be a dialogue, and I just pray that one intervention happen, because it's not good. Not only we are seeing ourselves, all of us, in the light of human being. We are all human in the face of humanity. We are all one. In the face of God, we are all one. So I pray and hope. Each time I pray, I do pray for divine intervention, because it's one way or the other is affecting us, all of us as a whole. Look at the gas. Look at the gas.
They're the big suppliers of grain.
Apart from that, there's a guy this morning
that goes through Ukraine,
and they said it's going to end. It's going to end as a war. We don't know how. So meaning that it's going to affect all of that. So we are one. Let's pray that.
All right, let's go back to Cote d'Ivoire before we enter Nigeria. We've got Alassane Ouattara, president of Cote d'Ivoire, is saying that the French troops, on Tuesday said the French forces would withdraw from the nation. Ouattara, while speaking in an end-of-year address to the nation, said Ivorians should be proud of the modernized state of their own armed forces. Sources said the France have been considering reducing its military presence in West Africa, but now Ouattara is saying they have to move all out. This recent push out French colonized countries of the French, and with Nigeria trying to embrace them from the other end, is it causing does it make it very suspicious? Already Niger is accusing Nigeria.
Very good. We have to be very, very careful. Especially our president is the chairman of ECOWAS. We have to be very, very, very careful, so that they won't even perceive that we are romancing with them, because it's high time we left all anybody that's supposed to be a colonial. We are still a slave in quotes. We are still a slave, because we cannot do anything. We are not really. They gave us independence, but not really. And freedom is not given. Freedom is earned. You cannot give freedom is earned, and it cannot even be taken away. Yes, colonize us, but we need that especially from a mental. The neocolonialism that is going on now, we need to be very, very, very careful. It's very lethal than any other form of colonization. Because look at it now, let's basic example. Look at it. They are not coming to force us now. Look at the Japa syndrome. We are the one queuing up. We want to come and we want to go to that country. Look at it. So meaning that we must be to really be ourselves as African people. So we must decouple all kind of forms of decolonization. Especially we need to earn our freedom ourselves. And freedom, just like I said, freedom is not given. Freedom is earned. And if you don't have wisdom, there are 3 powerful dumb words that I like to use. He said, if you don't have wisdom, you cannot have freedom. If you don't have freedom, you cannot have kingdom. You can liken a kingdom to a nation. No freedom, no wisdom, no kingdom. No kingdom. No wisdom, no freedom. No freedom, you cannot have a whole kingdom, of course, or you can call it a nation. You can't. Look at us how we are today. So we need wisdom. We need transcendent wisdom. We need to act from the place of our own. The only way out is way in. You know what I mean? The only way out is exploit the.
Is the government not seeing the writing on the wall? All French countries pushing the French troops out, and on the flip side, Nigeria is romancing with France, even as much as the federal government has come out to deny any such arrangement.
We'll just take them. Of course, they know more. They know something more than. They know. They should be privy to information that we are not, and I hope from romancing. Let's just believe it out, because that is the best. That is it's supposed to be. We must not be romancing with her. Those people are our brothers. All of us are into. We are blacks. Apart from we are blacks, look at all this francophone surrounding us. They surrounded us. We are. Look at the border within Nigeria. Everybody, our brothers in the north. So we must tread gently. You
All
can't
right.
be enemy with your neighbor at all at the expense of far.
Though the federal government has come out to say they will not try to undermine the sovereignty of Niger
Yes.
and all that.
Yeah,
But
that's
is that a subtle way? The school of thought believe that is a subtle way to probably catch Niger unawares. And the invitation of the military leader of Niger to Nigeria for talks, some believe it's another strategy to see how they can pull him out and probably cause a change.
Yeah, they should be suspicious. That's why they should be suspicious, but that's why we must be.
Do you think he will attend the talks?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't see what I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be. But they should, they will be suspicious so that it will not be a trap. So because everybody want to secure its sovereignty,
Okay.
and of course they will not toy their sovereignty with Nigeria no matter what.
All right, let's move on. The Nigerian government has formally submitted the necessary requirements to the government of Finland for the extradition of Biafran agitator Samuel Ekpa. This was disclosed by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. In November 2024, the Finnish authorities arrested Ekpa along on suspicion of involvement of terror-related activities, including incitement of violence and financing. Let's look at it has been a long time coming. They seem to be following the process duly and gently. Do you think the Finnish authority would give Samuel Ekpa to Nigeria? Because he's also a Finnish, citizen.
Yeah, he's a Finnish citizen. They want, and then there's no tie like that.
Bilateral Nigeria
and
Finland.
I'm feeling that will warrant that. But let's see what happens. I don't know the kind of submission. I mean, I don't want the kind of submission or the kind of condition they could give to Finnish government to do that. So let's see what plays out.
All right, we're still on the desk. We've got three more talking points. Quickly, let's look at President talk. We're looking at President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians in his New Year message of their resolve to boost food production and reduce inflation on food and drugs to 15% while strengthening the economy in 2025. In his New Year message to the nation, Tinubu highlighted economic growth indicators, including lower fuel prices, rising reserves, and stronger naira, signs of progress in 2024 that would continue into 2025. Do you agree with Mr. President?
Yeah, we have to we have to be hopeful. Not only hopeful, we have to help out in this.
Okay.
This is our country. We just have to help out. Anybody that is in a place of leadership.
But the indicators, the growth indicators is mentioning. It's a really growth indication. You reduce fear by 20 naira. It's
not adding up. It's not adding up yet. What I meant is that, of course, he's done, and he said he's not going back from his reform. So what he needs to do is to facilitate the other cushion, like he talked about a CNG.
CNG buses.
So that it can ensure they should go more. And the most is food. The more aggressively we must go into production, farming. Any country that cannot feed its people they've not even started, as if they are not really existing. I'm telling you, as if they are just existing, they are not living. I'm telling you, we cannot feed ourselves. Or not these arable lands, we need to go back to farm. In fact, is the elixir. In one of my articles, I said it is the elixir of prosperity. That is the elixir of our prosperity, farming. We must not just go back to farming. We must do it holistically. We must do not only mechanized farming. Now we must make use of technology now. What I call smart farming.
Okay.
Yes, there's a smart. We must go. That smart farming that could lure in our organization. There's that smart farming that will lure young people to that, because old people are dying now and young people are not ready to go to farm, because you cannot expect them to go start tilling as their forefathers. No, they wouldn't do that. But there are smart farming now that young people are really embracing it. To bring young people, and we must just go to farm. I'm telling you, that is the way to go.
But has government really shown enough willingness to support private partnership and like organizations like yours who are doing it in your small way? Have they reached out?
Of course, they will say they are doing their bit, but it's not enough. It's not just like I said. We've not we even wrote that we can collaborate. There's no feedback yet, so that we can bring our expertise then in form of collaboration so that we can, young people, brilliant young people, that they are very good. You can imagine, I'm a farmer, and I'm a petroleum engineer, I'm a farmer. As I tell you, we have young people that they studied computer science, philosophy. They are all farmers. Those are guys that...
But do you think the government is afraid, those in government are afraid to reach out? That's why they're not agreeing to respond to you right up?
Sometimes, what my experience in this space, in civil service, somebody from a private sector, is that when anybody is in government and you have a lofty idea, they will be afraid. And I can understand it's only that I can feel what, I can perceive why they are afraid. Maybe they thought you are coming to take
their job.
But they don't know that it's not like that. You cannot run a society like that. If you don't have an idea and you see somebody that have it, that's a sign of good leadership. You need to find a way to be from private sector. You see, everybody that owns all these big firms, they are not the smartest in that, but they have a way of how to bring people in. I don't know why they are afraid of that. Of that. I have experienced that kind of a thing. So, but now it's time, and I'm calling, or using this avenue to call that our dear President Tinubu should broaden the dialogue space. Should bring about people that have ideas, so that we can co-build this the only dear nation.
All right, in case you're just joining us, you're watching The Desk on Global Television, and I've got Musa Ododo Abdurrahman, who is the founder of Initiative for Discovery of Nigeria's Heritage and Endowment. He's also the chairman of the National Policy Dialogue. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, we'll be looking at other issues, as he'll also be projecting what he expects from government and some very critical sectors ahead of this as we kickstart. Right, welcome back from the break. That's what you get on the live program, Catching Me Live, there, trying to get dotting I's and T's. Musa Ododo Abdurrahman, who is the founder of Initiative for Discovery of Nigeria Heritage and Endowment. And we're looking at, there's a point where we're looking at nationhood as a rider, and we're looking at setting agenda for the leaders and followers as we enter 2025 proper. Let's get your take as a nationhood now. Let's set the agenda for 2025 as leaders and followers.
Yeah, that is a very, excuse me, that's a very profound topic. I will not be able to trash it, but we will just look at it. When you talk about nationhood, that is unsetting the agenda. That is very, 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 very profound. The topic there for us to chew. But we'll just look at what is nationhood, because that is the fundamental, that is the basis, that is the fundamental challenge that we face as a people. Nigeria is Nigeria stands at a very historic crossroads.
Okay.
Now, you see, the fabric of our society is torn, is feeble, and it has torn through decades of systemic dysfunction, economic stagnation, moral decadence, so we are faced with you can see that the what we're faced with, what the solution that we seek. I'm talking particularly to setting the agenda for the government now. The solution that we seek cannot be solved with the same state of consciousness. The solution that we seek to solve our problem cannot be solved with the same state of consciousness or knowledge level that created the challenges. And the way we're going about it with reforms, of course, with all due respect to President Reform, he's shown that he cares for this nation. But there's no how you can be intelligent. There's no how intelligent you are. If you don't understand the question, you won't get the answer.
True.
Yeah, you are a very, very intelligent person. So meaning that, of course, we're not doubting their intelligence with experience. But reform cannot solve fundamental challenges of society. Just ordinary reform. What we need is total transformation. What reform does is to improve the system and the processes and institution within the already existing, within the current governance framework. That is what, so meaning that you have policies, tweaking of policies, trying to improve the processes. But what we are faced with cannot be solved. We need total transformation. The society we are need a rebirth.
Push for this shift? Can they cause this shift that's expected, especially with the leaders we have who, like you rightly pointed out, state of mind is something we need an upper grade. How possible can we turn things around the way it's looking now, the way the country is?
The way the country, the only thing we're doing, that is why we are advocating that to Mr. President, Mr. President, that there must be a broad national conversation so that he can harness. That is what we've not done.
But would he still have the capacity to understand when even this is projected to him, knowing fully whether he's not in the school of thought of this new generation, this new Nigerian?
And as we go, he will see that the reforms are not really solving it. Though he said we should go with hope, but I don't know how much we can go without hope. And apart from that, we are not discontinuous what is doing. Something, but
we needed something.
Need something more than that, and that is what every society that has found themselves in this do call for a broad national dialogue. What do you want to do? What you want to harness the most powerful power, or if you like, the most effective. Him and let me give you an example. Mr. President, and all, with all due respect, and all of his
cabinet
cannot solve this. Now cannot solve, met it like that. You see that every successful government in Nigeria we the citizen will say, the last government is better than this. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Let's take a look at the last one. We said Buhari's government is not all of us are complaining. In short, one of the spokesmen said we are going to regret it. We thought how can we get, maybe if, we need to have another leader. But look at President Tinubu. Everybody said no. In short, we see people say, return us back to where we were, where we used to come from. You can imagine. Meaning that it is not Tinubu. What I'm saying is that it is not Tinubu that is the cause of the Nigerian problem. It is not Buhari per se, or you can if you like.
So there's something wrong in the system.
There's something foundationally
wrong.
There's something foundationally and solve that. You need to harness that power. You need to harness the power, the wisdom in the collective. The energy and the wisdom in the collective of people, because like in my own organization, we have, I personally had done 30 years research work that could help. I wrote to him, I said, we can do this. And in my network, we have 40 persons that have done 40 years conclusive research work on alternative concept that can help Nigeria. 40 years. In every society's problem are within them. The people that will solve them are within them. That is how nature has. Of Nigeria will be solved with no other person. I'm telling you. So the best is that is the best. If that's what that is the best any leaders can.
All right, 5 minutes to wrap it up. Your recommendation for this conference, confab. Do you think should the president agree to an extent that whatever comes out of this conference is going to be implemented, not like the Steve Oransoyans?
To be like all these usual, we are bringing. It's giving total. People have done great researches. So what we'll do is that it's going to be a conference that it has a precision guide. It's not going to be a precision guide. Building with wisdom of other.
The government is going to be allowed to influence it.
Of course, we cannot do anything without them. They are going to be part of the article. It's going to be a conglomerate of the government, civil society organization, the intellectuals, the great minds of our time, people that have done great work. Then we'll put it into public. We see the workability. That's why we call our association. We are not just think tank. We are think and do tank. I'm telling you, we have practical solution to Nigerian problem.
Are you convinced this government has the capacity to understand or appreciate the might of what is coming, and look at their mind being in 2027 already? Can they appreciate?
That is just a problem. That is just a problem I'm looking at it, because power never solve problem. I do ask anybody, and I hope that anybody in the position of power is listening to me now, that power has never solved the problem. Only give is to give you political power, and go and look at history of civilization and society. Power had never solved any problem. If power had solved, people are in position of power, even independence. People are in position of power now, and people are still judging for the position of power. What has power done to us? So it is only wisdom, and transcendent data is only transcendent wisdom and superior thinking that can develop a society. And until a society develop to that extent that to understand that development is within them, just like I said before, the only way out of our current is weighing, to start looking inward. Who will solve this problem?
And how key is it for the followers now to not just support government, but support these new Nigerian drivers?
Yes, we are. That is what we are doing our bit, and I thank God for great stations like you and the MD of this station, CEO and MD of this station, that is doing this kind of coming up with this kind of this program. So we are raising awareness. That is how consciousness builds. We are raising awareness. It's not a small feat. You can see some people are talking, even though they are not using it the right. We don't know what is the context of what they understand in New Nigeria. You can see everybody is trying to write on New Nigeria, and that word in Nigeria. When we started New Nigeria, I started this consciously. 30 years of my life I've done. I've been about this, but happy because I don't know all, I don't know it all, and nobody knows anything all. All I know that I recognize my ignorance. When you know that you don't know, you are open to possibility of knowing, and that is what I know, that when it's good to recognize that you don't know anything. And nature, I'm a conscious student of nature, so that I know. So we are raising consciousness, and people are knowing that it's very, very obvious in our face now that the present status quo, we must challenge the status quo. There must be a paradigm shift. We must rethink what we want to be as a people. There must be conscious creation of a new nation. Just like I do say, only great and unified nation do not happen by historical accident. It's never a happenstance. They are conscious. They are product of a conscious statecraft. It's a deliberate act. People birth a nation. Nigeria is a nation. That is why I bet God in his infinite mercy will help everybody understand it, that we need Nigeria is a nation waiting to be born, and this is the time now. In the face of disorderness, that is when orders are created. We must establish a new social order now if we want Nigeria.
Is there likely to? Some will ask, is there likely to be a time frame to achieve this? Because that's one key thing the government will be asking. What's the time frame to achieve this? Is this something we're going to achieve in a hurry?
It's not something we're going to achieve in a hurry, but there's nothing so good to establish something. When you establish that this is what you want to do. Foundation, when this foundation is established, building goes down. And it goes so, the question we should be asking is that how soon will they understand this, especially people in position of government, so that we can establish this fine foundation and we can build that new Nigeria we wanted on. And that is what we key. And the better everybody come to this understanding.
My final question will be in terms of domesticating this new consciousness at the state and sub-state level, local government. How key is it, and how important would this be to drive this process?
Oh, that's a very good question. Now we are having our young men are embracing this, and we've gotten our all the geopolitical zones.
Yes,
young men are in short, they are ambassadors coming up, and they are very in for this because it's our future. And this future that we talk about, I told them that there's nothing like a future leader. Your leader, you leader of the future. The future is now. The future is now. Abraham Lincoln has said that the best way to predict the future is to create one. Yeah. So the future is one. So they are leaders of now. So they must take their nation at hand now and start seeing that what they can do differently.
But are you not worried that even the leaders currently do not believe the youth they are ready to take over? Belief does not work in this new life, consciousness. Yes,
consciousness it doesn't work. If you like belief, just like I do say, if you like believe that sun will come tomorrow or sun will shine tomorrow, it will not come. Sun will surely shine now. Nature will take them away. No, but the new Nigeria is unstoppable. Nigeria is an entity of providence that must fulfill a purpose for humanity. So no one can stop it. No one can stop it. It's a sun where sun that must shine. No one can stop it. I'm telling you, you believe in it. Life does transcend belief. Life does not work. Principles are established that the eternal principle of life does not work with belief. If you like believe in it, don't believe in it. If you jump from up, you surely come down. Sun will come out tomorrow. Air you're going to breathe in. So it transcends belief.
All right, that's we're talking about achieving a new Nigeria, the issue of nationhood, and talking about setting agenda in this 2025 for leaders and followers. The key things for the leaders to understand that there's a new wave and that transcends whatever is happening right now, and the fact that a new Nigeria must be born. Like you said, whether you believe or not, is something happening. It's a period, it's a time in our history, in our nation's history, that things must turn around, and we're hoping that everybody would join this for us to get the new Nigeria of our dreams, where things would be much better. I want to say a big thank you to the man who has done this for the last 30 plus years. He's not a person but Musa Ododo Abdurrahman, who is the founder of Initiative for Discovery of Nigeria's talking about Nigeria's heritage and endowment. He's also the chairman, National Policy Dialogue. I want to say thank you very much for doing this for 30 plus years and still driving this. And but I hope there's a guarantee we'll reach the promised land.
There is so far God is there. Nothing. We're going to get there, and we're already there because I'm an embodiment of New Nigeria. As I live by it. New Nigeria is not a New Nigeria. Let me add this. New Nigeria is not a new country, or it's a human being that has realized that we are the nation, and that this nation we develop to the extent to which we develop ourselves. So we have imbibed those values with time. I'm telling you. So we are the new Nigeria. We are the embodiment of the new Nigeria. New Nigeria is unstoppable. We are here.
All right, so New Nigeria, we are here. All right, my name is Anthony Mobo saying thank you for joining me on the program, The Desk, first edition for 2025. And indeed, I'm super grateful and glad to have Musa Ododo Abdulrahman, who is the founder initiative of Discovering Nigeria Heritage and Endowment, also the chairman of the National Policy Dialogue. And we wish him and his team the very best. All right, let's do this again tomorrow, where we'll be talking about other issues of national interest on The Desk.